hydrogen fuel cell car introduction comes the assertion from the proud maker that its car is no longer a science experiment. The 2017 Honda Clarity fuel cell finally gives credence to that platitude. It actually realizes the potential that hydrogen fuel cell engineers have long worked toward, to make the fuel cell hardware entirely invisible from the driving experience. Built on a dedicated platform that also will spawn a battery electric version and a plug-in hybrid later this year, the fuel cell Clarity drives just like a battery-powered electric car. Nearly all of the deal breakers that have branded previous efforts as science experiments, the strident vacuum cleaner sounds, poor packaging, sluggish performance, have been purged. Hit the start button and there's little to be heard from the driver's seat. Press the accelerator moderately and the response is instantaneous and confidence-inspiring, although the Clarity's sprightliness fades somewhat above 60 miles per hour or so. After all, the fuel cell Clarity is an electric car. There are no dueling power sources sending torque to the wheels, just a single AC motor that delivers its peak 221 pounds-to-foot right from the start. Step into it a little more and what you do hear, perhaps delayed by a second or two, is a turbulent whoosh of air from an electrically driven air compressor, force-feeding fresh air into this electric car's onboard generator, the fuel cell stack. The sounds lack any semblance of the whine made by the feline shriek of the Roots-type blower in the previous model, yet it supplies air at up to 70% greater pressure. It's certainly a notch quieter than the Toyota Mirai, and ride quality isn't bad either. Otherwise, the fuel cell Clarity drives like a very heavy Accord that is entirely aware of the added girth and doesn't try any fancy dance moves. It tops 4,000 pounds, despite an aluminum hood, doors, fenders, and trunk hood. Honda says the Clarity's center of mass is slightly lower than that of the Accord hybrid, but the prevailing impression is that it feels far more nose-heavy in tight corners than its claimed 57-43 front-rear weight distribution suggests. The steering is precise, but it could be weighted stronger on center. Selecting Sport mode, signaled by red highlighting for the gauge cluster, gives you sharper accelerator response as well as what will be welcomed on mountain roads, more regenerative braking. The brakes themselves are precise and easy to modulate. Honda doesn't disclose the Clarity's coefficient of drag, but you definitely don't hear wind turbulence around the cowl and side glass at fast cruising speeds the way you do in the Chevrolet Bolt F. That's partly due to Honda's comprehensive approach for keeping the cabin quiet. There's acoustic glass used not just for the windshield but also for the door glass plus other noise-abating strategies that keep everything from road coarseness to motor whine at bay. Active noise cancellation was deemed unnecessary.